Emboar is an awesome Pokemon. As the final evolution of the adorable Tepig, Emboar manages to knock it out of the park with a stellar design that pulls inspiration from Zhu Bajie, the demon pig from the Chinese tale Journey to the West. With Emboar's own dex entries even reflecting Zhu Bajie's character, as Emboar cares deeply for its friends and is very noble towards those who cannot defend themselves, justifying Emboar's part fighting type, much to the annoyance of many fans upon the release of the colorful and diverse Unova region. Although Emboar has an awesome design and a great source of inspiration for it and its pre-evolutions, Emboar leaves a lot to be desired competitively. Although Emboar is not a completely terrible Pokemon and does surprise people with how well it performs in the lower tiers, it can be a whole lot better and can definitely have a new paint job that will make it stick out from other fire and fighting types and have success in higher tiers of competitive play more consistently. So although Emboar is a cool Pokemon, let's make it cooler. Quick glance at Emboar stats reveal the main problem with Emboar. Its attack and HP stat are stellar, sitting at 123 and 110 respectively, and that's really its only noticeably good stats, as its lackluster defenses offset its great HP stat, and its speed is slow, but not a deal killer, and its special attack stat of 110 is, ironically, its worst stat, considering it's Emboar's third highest stat. The reason why Emboar's special attack stat of 100 is terrible is because Emboar's move pool and ability, that being the outstanding Reckless, means Emboar is more geared towards being a slow, offensively bulky Pokemon that takes hits and delivers back excellent damage. Now that the main issue has been discovered, here's the new stats spread that I believe is fitting for the Mega Fire Pig Pokemon. Every stat other than the special attack has received an extra number of points, with Boar's HP stat now being 111, attack stat being 128, both defenses 83, and the speed bumped up to a courteous base 71. As for the special attack, I took 42 points out and threw 18 points into both defenses, and used the remaining 6 points into speed, resulting in the special attack now being a mediocre base 58, which isn't a big deal for Emboar because, again, Emboar's move pool and Reckless ability push it to be a slow, offensively bulky Pokemon. I decided to round the base stat total to 534, with HP receiving an additional point and attack receiving 5 points, resulting in HP being 111 and attack being 128, as I've mentioned before. The new stat spread allows Emboar to truly be the bulky Pokemon it was meant to be, while having some nicely appreciated extra attack, and even having a slight edge over some Pokemon in the crowded speed tier of 70. Emboar's new stats mean it can now use Reckless boosted Flare Blitzes much more consistently now, especially with Boar now gaining access to some new tools in the form of the excellent close combat, the offensive recovery and drain punch, and an even better flame charge in the form of the more consistent Trailblaze. And while on the topic of moves, might as well give Emboar a few more moves that would benefit Boar while also making sense for Emboar to learn. But before I explain why Emboar should learn the move Thunder Wave, I would like to quickly touch on Emboar's hidden ability I've mentioned, Reckless. Reckless is a solid, at times great ability that boosts the power of moves that deal recoil. For instance, Flare Blitz is a base 120 power physical fire type move, but with Reckless, Flare Blitz is now 144 base power. Although recoil is never fun to deal with, Reckless's power boost more than makes up for the recoil taken, and with the new bulk gifted to Emboar, the recoil issue is negated heavily. Emboar does use Reckless very well, so well in fact that I had trouble deciding if I wanted to replace the ability, and after looking at some solid alternatives, I decided that Reckless is a great ability for Emboar, and it doesn't need an ability change, unlike other Pokemon. Although I won't change Emboar's ability, I would like to mention Rockhead, Guts, and Mold Breaker as alternative abilities. Rockhead I saw as a method to remedy the recoil Emboar would sustain, but felt it wouldn't fit Emboar, as it doesn't have any design elements that hint at Emboar being a very good headbutter. Plus, every Pokemon with the Rockhead ability is, well, a rock type. So although Rockhead would help with the recoil issue, it doesn't fit at Emboar aesthetically. But Guts and Mold Breaker on the other hand do work as better alternative abilities, in my opinion at least. Guts serves as a way to counter annoying status moves like Toxic and Thunder Wave, and would work alongside Emboar's character of caring deeply for its friends, so much that it would endure the pain so long as they are safe. As a lore reason, it's pretty sweet, but competitively, it's a stellar ability that has no downsides to it whatsoever. And finally, there is Mold Breaker, which, like Guts, is always a nice ability to have to negate abilities like Levitate. But although Guts and Mold Breaker are great abilities that would make for alternatives that do rival Reckless, and Rockhead is funny in concept. I don't see any of these abilities properly replacing Reckless, as the boosted power to Flare Blitz and the otherwise terrible Wild Charge allows for Emboar to deal extra damage and make up for the recoil it sustains. With Reckless remaining as Emboar's hidden ability, let's talk about some new moves for Emboar, like the always useful Thunder Wave. Thunder Wave is an electric type move that paralyzes the opponent guaranteed if it connects, so long as they aren't a ground type or immune to paralysis. Thunder Wave as well as Supercell Slam would be good additions, as Supercell Slam is a better wild charge and Thunder Wave support is always appreciated. Plus, Emboar would make good use of these two moves and wouldn't raise any suspicion, as Emboar learns the move Wild Charge and the much weaker Thunder Punch, and electric coverage and paralysis is always well appreciated on teams. And since Thunder Wave is a status move, it would also be good to bring up Swords Dance as a setup option for sweeping, Slack Off for instant recovery, and Stealth Rocks for hazard entry. Swords Dance itself is self-explanatory, but as for Slack Off and Stealth Rock, both moves allow Emboar to stay healthy in battle and even support its team with hazard entries. And similar to Paralysis, Stealth Rocks are always valuable to have on the field, just look at Gen 4 and beyond. With some excellent support moves and even a setup move now added to Emboar's name, it would be a nice time to look at some more offensive tools Emboar could take advantage of, like Circle Throw, fighting move that forces the opponent to switch, compare well with hazard teams, while Mach Punch, Upper Hand, and Bullet Punch serve as excellent priority moves that play into Emboar's fighting type while keeping up the momentum. Having priority is always excellent to have, and why Emboar never got these moves, but so many other fighting and steel type moves it couldn't learn, never stuck well with me. What also doesn't sit well with me is the fact that Emboar cannot learn Blaze Kick and Raging Fury. Raging Fury I can give a pass because the move is brand new and isn't a sought out option, as it's a fire type outrage, which I also believe Emboar would like as a niche but effective option that doesn't deal recoil. What I won't give an excuse for is Emboar not being able to learn the move Blaze Kick, as Emboar could always learn the moves Low Sweep and Low Kick, yet it couldn't learn the kicking move that happens to be on fire. Those Blaze Kick is kinda bad. It's always nice to see the occasional appearance of the move that used to be the signature move of Blaziken, and would make for another alternative option for Emboar. And finally, to round out the new moves for Emboar, I'd like to bring up Headlong Rush as a stronger ground type option, since ground is tied with fighting and ice type for being the best type offensively. Outrage is a powerful dragon type move that fits alongside Emboar's Chinese inspiration, Skitter Smack as a bug coverage to lower special attack, and Dual Chop to serve as a multi-hitting move that can break substitutes. With the new stat spread that allows Emboar to be a slow but offensively bulky Pokemon who can better take hits while delivering reckless boosted Flare Blitzes, as well as some nice new support moves like Thunder Wave, Slack Off, and Stealth Rocks, in addition to some powerful new moves like Raging Fury, Mach Punch, Supercell Slam, and even Headlong Rush, Emboar can now see much greater success in competitive Pokemon. And with that, thank you so much for listening on how I would make Emboar a cooler and better Pokemon competitively. I want to take this time to thank r/Stunfisk, the competitive Pokemon subreddit, for further advice on my buffs, as well as the user Fluorine for designing the buffed Emboar Stats spread that you saw in this video. And if you like this video, please make sure to like the video and even consider subscribing. It would be pretty pog. And if you like these buffs I made, comment below what your favorite buff I made was and what Pokemon I should consider buffing next. Until next time, I'll catch you all later.